So savings and healthcare, those are two topics that I wanted to touch on before the next video, which is the one where I'm gonna go over my budgeting process, because they're like kind of related, but that video is already gonna be long enough. Now, this is in no way me giving anyone financial advice or healthcare advice. I'm just explaining my own personal preferences and methods so as to elaborate on my budget breakdown. So first, let's talk about savings. I basically have 3 savings accounts. I have a general savings, what I call a peace of mind account, and then a Roth IRA. In order to figure out how much I wanted in my savings, at one point I sat down and kind of calculated what would be my cost of living for a month. Sorry, there was like a rabbit or I don't know, something. But anyways, this included like hypothetical rent and gas and food and doctor's visits, just literally everything that I could think of, like essentials, that what I would need to live, and for like just general survival type of things. So sorry, I'm gonna be a little bit orange because this is the only light that I have charged. The other ones are dead. So yeah, orangeness. Anyways, the number that I came up with was just kind of like the bare minimum for what I would need to spend in a month to be financially secure. Now, I also calculated my cost of living for like 4 other situations other than like financial security, but those are not relevant to what is going to be shown when I break down my budget, so we're just not gonna worry about any of that. So I took that bare minimum number of what would be 1 month's living expenses, and that is what I would consider to be my general savings. And that's really just for emergencies or like situations that catch me off guard. I hardly ever have to dip into it, and since it is a fixed number, I don't contribute to it monthly because I've already capped that off. But in circumstances where I would maybe have to like pull a little bit from that, then I would switch it up and probably put some more in there monthly until it reached that minimum number again. But so since I've already reached that goal for my general savings, this is why in the next video where I talk about my budget and how that all works, you're not going to see my general savings account on that sheet of paper, is because it's already kind of like taken care of and it's just stashed away elsewhere. So a level up from that, which I do contribute to monthly, would be what I call my peace of mind account, and that is what I would consider to be 6 to 12 months of living expenses. So really, I just took the same number from the previous and multiplied it by 6 and 12, and that's how I got those figures of what it would ideally be. Now, I know a popular recommendation is to have like 3 to 6 months of, you know, cost of living in savings. However, I just kind of feel like if I'm having to heavily use or like pull anything from my savings, then 3 months just kind of goes by like that, and I don't feel like 3 months is it's just gonna go by so fast. So I would rather do 6 to 12. It's honestly just what I prefer, you know, helps me sleep at night. And then there is my Roth IRA, which is for retirement, and that I do contribute to monthly as well. And second, we're going to talk about healthcare. So currently, I do not have health insurance. However, I still go to the eye doctor annually. I still go to the dentist twice a year. I not that long ago had to have an x-ray on my knee. Generally, how I handle healthcare expenses is just by planning ahead. For instance, with just like basic routine appointments, I know how much they cost, so when I know that they're getting a little bit closer, I'll just put away like $10 here, $20 there, you know, whenever my monthly income allows for a little bit extra. I'm slipping. But then so typically I don't have to dip into my savings account to take care of those things. But of course there are situations like, for example, the x-ray for my knee. I was not prepared for that, you know, so that was something where I did use my savings account to compensate for that. And so that's where like my general savings account would come in handy, and then I pulled from that and then just contributed to it monthly until that got up to the goal that it needed to be. So this is why this is like not advice from like me to you. This is just me saying what I do, because I am aware that relying on my savings to completely cover me in case of emergencies, it's just not sustainable. Like, there could very well be a time when something happens that it costs way more than what is in that account. So just to reiterate and make this clear, I do not currently have health insurance, but will I have it in the future? Probably. When? I don't know. But yeah, so don't take this as me saying like, oh yeah, if you live this lifestyle, like, you don't need health insurance. Like, nah man, I would never say that, because I don't know you, and yeah, I don't know. I would not ever say that. I think the general consensus on having health insurance would probably be to, you know, have it for just in case, and so that you're prepared. So maybe just go with that. But then again, there's probably a substantial amount of people who think it's unnecessary for who knows how many reasons. So again, not saying that either is right or wrong. That's really just kind of one of those things where, like, you really just gotta do you. Anyway, so that was just kind of a general overview of my savings and a little tidbit about healthcare, because it wasn't going to fit in the other video, and I know that that would come into question when I kind of break down my main expenses and stuff, and healthcare isn't one of them. So I just wanted to, you know, get that out of the way before we dive into how my budgeting works. So I think that is all for now. I'm sorry for the lighting, and yeah, okay, see you guys next time. Bye!